Tonight on the Big D and J Rowdy Show, Rowdy says the word Willis. We watch Mustangs do Mustang things, and I get promoted to crew chief.
Oh, we are back after a week.
Week and a half, maybe?
Yeah, that's long. It was a hectic week.
It was. Rowdy's a little sick today.
I do have some sort of ailment. You kind of have like a lifelong ailment.
I do have a lifelong ailment. I have the diabetes, or as it's known around town, the sugar.
The sugar.
It's why I check my blood sugar. I check it often. I've checked your blood sugar twice since I've been here. I ordered my diabetes testing supplies from Bob's Pharmacy.
Bob's Pharmacy?
Yes.
That carries diabetes testing supplies?
They do.
They have all your testing supply needs for diabetes?
Yes, the diabetes or the sugar.
Well, now that we got that out of the way,
yeah,
and we know, how's my sugar?
It's wonderful. It's 100.
It's 100? That's where it's supposed to be?
Spot on.
What's that guy's name that does those commercials?
I don't know.
The diabetes guy. Anyways, he would be happy.
Yes, he would. We done some things since we were last on. We mentioned that we were going to the Frankenmuth car show the very next night, which we did.
Friday night.
Yeah.
Actually ended up being the day to go because Saturday was just crap weather.
Yeah. And then Sunday's kind of the short day. They hand out awards and guys book out of town. So it was definitely a good thing for us to go Friday. Ton of cars out there on Main Street. I don't think I've ever seen that many. Honestly.
It was, I felt like I just kept on walking and walking.
Yeah.
And you went further down than we did.
Yeah.
Me and Jeanette made it almost all the way down. And I'm just like, screw that. We still got to go all the way back. Because we went down one side and then we're going to go back up the other.
Yeah.
And
I don't know for sure, but I think if you walk the whole thing, I'm going to guess and say it's between 3 and 4 miles.
I could have hatched like 4 or 5 Pokemon from Pokemon Go. Had I been playing Pokemon, I told Jeanette when we got done, I was like, damn it, I could have hatched like 3 or 4 Pokemon. And she, well, you should have left it on. I said, well, my battery dies super fast anyway, but there was tons of people Pokemoning there too. We seen it.
You were such a dork.
Hey, man, I hatched a Pikachu. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. So that was a good time. We went to that barbecue place there in town afterwards, and we actually went separately, but then ended up eating dinner together afterwards.
Dude, when we left, now I could have left in time to be able to park, but I had to wait for Jeanette to get home, which wasn't bad because I don't know. After seeing some of these people like walking around the cars that were on the street, I don't think I ever want to put my car on that street ever.
No.
I mean, kids run over, ooh, daddy, look, and just hands right all over it, and they're touching it like 50 bazillion times. They're playing bass drum on the damn quarter panel, and there was somebody leaning on the car like it was his, and judging by the person, I mean, that's like a little bit prejudice and profiling, but this person that was leaning on this car should definitely not have owned the car that he was leaning on. And it was an old guy, like an old guy leaning on a rat rod. So maybe, but probably not.
Huh.
He probably just needed a break and figured that he was.
Yeah, here you go.
Even if it's
Here's
just
a
a rat
rusty
rod.
car.
Yeah.
Sit on it.
Which I wouldn't lean on anybody's car, no matter what it is, even if it's like a daily driver.
Oh yeah, we saw there was probably 5 or 6 of those 78 to 81 Malibus that my wife, which we'll talk to later, wants so bad, and she was just drooling over them.
She didn't touch them though, did she?
No, we just peeked inside. But
you turn your back, turn around, Sob's rubbing up against it, purring.
Yeah. She would too. No, they were safe, but there's some cool stuff there. And God, the one that hurt me, I gotta admit, I was a little bit butthurt, was that duster that was lifted on like 35s or something.
That was down by the Bavarian Inn, Zinder's Corner
the clock
thing, right?
tower thing, yeah. That one hurt me just a tad, right in the feels.
Yeah. It was cool to see something different.
Yeah.
I think had it been something a little bit more rare, like a demon or something, I'd be a little bit. But I know you're a duster guy, particularly that year.
Yeah, it hurt just a little bit, but it's his car. He can do what he wants. One of them deals. I don't own it. He does.
And for all we know, he might have just got it and everything was junk but the body, and he just put it on something. I mean, I didn't stop to look at it long.
I didn't see it on a frame. I don't know how it was done. I didn't see a full frame underneath it, though.
I really like the, is it a blue and yellow Buick that's tubbed out?
I don't remember which one you're speaking of.
I think it was a Buick. It was down by the Zinder's parking lot. I swear it was a Buick. It wasn't a Buick motor in it, though. It was a Buick body. And then there was a really sweet Chevelle further north on that road. Okay. Like way up there by the brewery. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Did you see that Chevette that had the big block in it?
Yeah. And I had walked around back looking for some Willis bars, and I didn't see any, but they were short Willis bars, and they were underneath it. And I overheard one of the guys asking him like how it goes down the track, and I really don't think it does, from what I gathered.
I saw. I mean, that was like the most expensive Chevette I think I've ever seen. Every part on that thing looked hand fabricated.
Yeah, and even the not the trunk, what's that called? The hatch. So when the hatch was open, the fuel cell was in there, but there was like cool carpet and everything like formed around the fuel cell.
Oh wow, I didn't see that part either.
It was pretty neat.
Huh. So yeah, there's definitely some cool stuff down there. It's always a good time to go to that. I recommend if you've never been to give it a shot. I mean, it's even worth a bit of a drive, I'd say, to go.
Yeah. Jeanette had never been, and she likes old cars, like antique cars. Yeah. And then she also likes things that you don't see often, which I'm not really too into. Like she likes like the Austin Healey's and like the Triumphs, which they're cool because you don't see them often. But I can't get into them that much. Maybe because I don't know much about the car. Yeah. Maybe.
That's cool.
But Shaboom was down there. I thought that car got taken apart.
Yeah, we talked about that in the last episode.
I'm not kidding. I swear we were down there at Autorama like last year, the year before, and they were selling parts off the car.
Maybe it was time for an upgrade. I don't know.
That thing is sweet, though.
Yeah. Really awesome car. So we went to that, and then I worked the rest of the weekend, but you and Jeanette went on a photo shoot with your car.
Yeah. Yeah. Saturday we sold the boat, which was a disaster. Yeah. Absolute nightmare. I'm never selling anything again. And she was kind of excited because she wanted to just spend time with me because we both been pretty busy last week. We didn't just get time to hang out ourselves. And she wanted to go. Those of you that don't know, she's a photographer, like part-time photographer. And she wanted to go take pictures of the bully. So she was expecting it to be like me and her time, Right. And I just couldn't get away from the flipping boat. But we ended up going to a warehouse over off Pearson and Dort. If you are not from around this area, Pearson and Dort isn't the greatest part of town. You don't really want to be over there. And to boot, it's right by a mobile home park. So it kind of fits the stereotypes of everything. But oddly enough, some of the mobile homes look nice. But we checked it out and inspected it first with the truck because I wasn't going to try to drive the Charger around this. I didn't know what I was getting into. But it was actually ended up being a pretty sweet warehouse. And there wasn't too much debris everywhere. I mean, at one side of it was, but I mean, the bully made it in there and I got to do some shoots fine. and we didn't get robbed or carjacked or anything. So as soon as she gets those up, I'm going to put them up on the Bullies page.
Yeah, and we'll have to share them to
and we'll
our page.
Share them on our page too. We got to get the Instigator in the Bully out there.
Yeah.
And if we can convince Zach that his Charger's still cool,
right,
we can get that out there and do all three of them.
Yeah.
Or make Angel drive the car, even if they want pictures of the Trans Am.
Yeah.
But it's a cool spot. It's a cool spot.
Yeah. All right. Oh, we get to doing that. And then this last weekend was pretty action-packed, we'll say.
It was a busy weekend.
Yeah. We went to No ET on Saturday. And there wasn't a lot of cars there.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed. I came later than you guys did.
Yeah.
Because I had that family deal. But I feel like you could actually get to the starting line if you were a driver.
Yeah.
You didn't have to worry about anything. And I feel like the couple of No ETs that I went to, especially the September ones, which always seem to be the bigger ones, like this one kind of was
Yeah.
I mean, they had the small block nitrous shootout.
Yeah.
And then a small block boosted shootout with one nitrous car.
Yeah, they let a nitrous car in to make it a 4-car shootout.
Right.
Which I don't know why they just didn't do one 8-car shootout.
Yeah. A small block shootout.
Yeah.
Just in general, but I
don't know.
The nitrous
Peso
guys
doesn't ask me.
Right. Yeah, and there's probably a reason because he makes money.
Yes, he does. It makes a hell of a lot more than I do.
You know, those nitrous guys just want to be in their own little group. They don't want
and it's kind of unfortunate because there was rain early in the day, and I think that's
what kept a lot of people away.
Yeah, kept a lot of people away. But then it cleared up, and it was actually a nice
perfect
afternoon.
Night. Perfect evening for racing.
Yeah.
I mean, we were down there until midnight-ish, right?
Yeah.
And it was perfect for racing.
Yeah.
But the dew started to set.
Yeah. Like we went back to the car to grab something to drink, and then there's dew on top of the cars.
Yeah.
And
which if there's dew on top of the cars, there's dew on top of the
track surface.
Yeah, and we went from seeing crazy.
Yeah, we saw some fast passes and then
big Willises.
Yeah. I don't know who it was. It was a red I want to say it was the SN95 body style.
I think I seen that guy post on the 989 callouts a couple pictures of that wheel stand.
Yeah, did a double wheel stand dragging a bumper. I think it's nuts.
Yeah. Actually, he did. He posted that, and he said he made a couple of adjustments and got it to come back down a little bit.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing to see. So there was, some people were having trouble hooking, and then that guy showed me
right. Well, because I got there and I was like, man, that far lane. Remember, I said I was like, that far lane ain't hooking for nothing.
Yeah.
And you said, that guy did a double wheelie out of that far lane.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We didn't. But when Kip raced John Burkett, Kip was in that far lane, and he had traction issues also.
Yeah.
So, and John won.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool that, a local Flint guy has that.
Yep, belt. He's got the 29-inch tire belt.
Hopefully
that was cool to see.
He got called out, immediately after for the next No ET.
Oh, I'm sure.
So.
I don't think I can make it to that one, unfortunately. But unfortunately, as the night went on, like we talked about the dew coming down on the track, we did see a couple of wrecks.
The Mustangs started doing Mustang things.
Yeah. The Riddler car.
That car is such a pretty car for a Fox body.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on a Fox body.
It's not my cup of tea, but that was a seriously fast car.
And it was straight, and the paint was great. It looked like somebody spent as much time detailing that car as I spent wheeling out my car.
Right. It's very well done. And I said it before. Something doesn't have to be my cup of tea to appreciate it. If it's really well done, then even if it's not what I would do, I still like it.
Yeah. You appreciate the work that somebody put into it.
Yeah. But he
that
was
car
just,
mile an hour, like a son of a bitch.
Oh,
Man, that thing
man.
out the back door is just hauling ass. And of course, that's where he lost it.
Right, yeah,
And
I
he
think
did
it was on a pass.
Pretty good job keeping it from being way worse.
Yeah, I swore he had it.
Yeah,
when he was in the middle of the track, pretty much facing the wrong way, and I didn't see it swinging wildly. I was like, "Oh, he's got it! Like this is the save of the century."
Yep.
And I don't know what happened.
Came back around the other way.
Yeah.
I don't it just decided to grip and spun back around and slapped into the wall.
I don't ever want to be in that position.
And that was in the far lane.
Yeah.
So I mean, he hooked off the beginning, which right out his 60-foot was awesome. Which the other ones we were watching, they didn't hook. They hooked down track fine,
right?
But they had to pedal it out of the hole.
Yeah.
So he definitely had a suspension working, and that thing was moving.
Yeah. And then there was the white car. Forgive me, I don't know who it was, but
yeah, I'm not
unfortunately he had
sure either.
I'd call it a mild to moderate hit to the wall.
Yeah. That could have been way worse too.
Yeah.
Because that happened at the big end of the track too.
Yeah. Both of them did a very good job at keeping it from.
The white one crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that had potential to be hairy.
Yeah.
No. Every time I take Jeanette to a track, there's always a wreck. I try to tell her, I'm like, babe, the car doesn't go fast enough to wreck like that. Well, what if it did?
Anything can happen at any speed, but
and then you open your mouth and he's been damn near sideways and he just kept on going. Jeanette's like, if you ever do that, I'm like, well, that's what you got to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it can happen to any of us at any time, and it's one of those where we kind of accept the consequences every time.
Even if you're a slow guy and you go down the track with a fast guy, chances are they're not going to lead with you.
Right.
Because if they're up against you, they're probably just testing.
Right.
They want to get some good data. So they might let you go, and the next thing you know, they're hauling ass down the track, and then they lose it up there, and then you're next to them.
Yeah.
That could be scary.
Yeah. Anytime you get behind the wheel, you pretty much sign a contract that whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I really hope that I never wad my car off.
Oh, yeah, me neither. I can't. I mean, that would be like devastating financially.
Well, we would drag it out into the road and then run into it with another car.
Take the truck out there.
That way we're covered on insurance.
Yeah.
I would definitely sacrifice my...
Progressive, you didn't hear that.
I would sacrifice the white truck for the purple car.
Yeah, it would be bad. But right now we'll call it a steady enough speed that we don't...
Steady, that's what the kids are calling it these days.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty interested in, for me, the highlight of the weekend was waiting for Saab to make this pass.
Yeah.
Because I think I texted you guys before you were even out of bed. Here I am, wide awake at like 9 o'clock in the morning. It's your anniversary. And I text you guys like, wake up, bitches. It's race day.
It's race day. Yeah, we had just gotten up. And we had told other people we were going to be there at noon. And we had just gotten up, and I started, packing the car up and getting things in the truck. Because we took the truck and the car, but no trailer this time. But got the wheels and tires loading up, tools, everything.
So you changed the tires out at the track?
Yes. Yep.
Gosh, that's such a pain, ain't it?
Yeah.
Especially because it's dirt pits. You got to drive up behind the stands there.
Yeah, and I got those spacers for the skinnies.
You have 8 lug nuts or
10 extra. 10 extra lug nuts. And you got to tighten those suckers down, like with it not being on the ground. So I got to get her in the car to step on the brake.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So
wouldn't your you don't want to chance it with your battery powered impact as it just zip it on there, but
yeah, no, I I always do that and then torque it down by hand. I'm a little anal about that. But got that all changed out, ready to go. And it was a little bit after 12 when we got there. And it was almost 1 o'clock by the time I had everything ready to go. And they were making test passes already until like 2 o'clock. So
you said it was busy there. Why was it so busy?
It was
it a big money event?
It was it was a big money bracket race. I didn't even realize it.
Okay.
I just thought it was regular old weekend.
But it's hard telling because they just all of a sudden do big money weekends and stuff out there.
Yeah, I mean it was. What did they? I think the payout for. What was the payout for first? Was it like $800 or I don't know? It was a lot. But
that's not bad. I would give that a shot. I would honestly give it a shot racing the money bracket at Lapeer. The only problem is there's not a box, no box class. There's just money bracket. So I already have a bad reaction time. Going against somebody with the delay box is.
Oh, yeah.
And I would be not the fastest, but I wouldn't be the slowest end of what they allow in the money bracket either.
Right.
So.
Yeah. There was definitely a lot more cars there than normal. So, of course, you got my wife there freaking out already. I mean, she would have been freaking out if there was nobody there.
Yep. And then in her mind, just like everybody else's mind, like, I'm going to get up there and a ton of people are going to be watching me.
And hardly nobody.
Right. Nobody really pays attention to that unless they know the person racing or they want to see the car. Nothing against the Instigator or even the Bully, but when a car like that pulls up there, people with real race cars aren't like, "Whoa, let's see what this does."
Right? Yeah, like just street car.
Yeah,
big whoop.
Yeah, to where like if we're there and a drag car goes up, we're going to pay attention to it.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So you got everything ready.
Yeah.
You got Saab. You got her ready to go. She ran to the bathroom 5 or 6 times by now.
Yeah. We both went to the bathroom.
Because when I made my first pass, I seriously ran to the restroom probably 5 or 6 times while I was in the lanes.
Yeah, I was quietly crapping myself on my first pass.
I did my burnout in reverse. So I was teasing Saab. I was like, make sure you go to the bathroom and don't do your burnout in reverse.
Right. My first pass, and I know you remember because I texted you like right after it. I did a 1575 at 98 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it's way mismatched, and I'll tell you why is because I was still on those junk Goodyear RSAs.
Right.
And
it was still a 5.7.
Yeah, it was still a 5.7 and everything. I just blew the tires right off the line and got out of it and then got right back into it. And that's how I got for the time, a big mile an hour.
Yeah.
But after that, it was much, much better. I think my time was 2 seconds faster the next time.
That'll make a big difference.
Yeah, I'll never go 2 seconds faster after a pass ever again, probably.
So,
yeah.
Now, we're going to get her on the phone here in a minute. But what did you tell her? Because when we were leaving the track on Saturday, she made it seem like she was overwhelmed with stuff in her mind. So I was trying to give her an idea to make it not as overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because my first pass in a car ever, there was no line lock.
Right.
And I wasn't on slick, so I didn't have to actually do a burnout. I just had to roll them over.
Right.
Same for you.
Right.
Now, we're throwing her into a car, not the fastest car, but it has all the things.
It's got slicks, it's got line lock, it's got
right. So you have to
no ESP.
If you're using it, you have to know what you're doing. You can't just go up there and foot brake it, roll the tires over a little bit, and then roll up to the line. Because if you do that with the slick, they're gonna back you back up and make you do a burnout because you're taking water up to the line.
Right.
So what did you tell her to do?
I ran through it with her, like from when she's first in line. The guy's going to wave you over, And at Lapeer, you have to drive around their little water box, and then
don't hit the cone.
I hit the cone.
I hit the cone once.
Back up into the little divot where it's got the water, and then pull out. And it's okay. This is very important. Put your foot on the brake. Flip the line lock switch. Bump the car into first because that's just how it works best for me.
Okay.
Bump the car into first with the auto stick, and then just jump on the gas. Like, don't roll into it. Don't be easy with it. Just jump right on it. And I said, just hold it down to the ground until you start to see smoke. You see smoke pouring out. Undo the line lock. Let out of the gas. And then hit the brake and wait for me to get up to the line to pull you in. And I was pulling her up to the line like 6 inches to a foot away from the beams. And say, okay, when I get you stopped, you're going to be like right there. Then you can pre-stage and stage and make your pass. That's the part of the pass she was worried about.
Oh, she was
worried about this whole going from the staging lanes to completely staged to taking off. I was worried about everything that happened after that.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to be with you on the line and get you staged. Like, I will not let you mess up. You know, like, I will be there to coach you.
Right.
It's the part, you know, just because she's so nervous.
Did you walk the track first to where she could see a turnoff?
No.
No. The thing is our cars will have no problem getting stopped by that third turnoff. That third turnoff sucks.
Yeah.
So I try to get mine stopped by the first, and it's hard. I don't know how some guys do it. Like, I stand on it. I got big brakes.
Yeah.
And it just don't like it with the skinny tires. So she wasn't nervous about any of that. She's just like, I'm going to go down there and stop. And then I'm going to drive up that little shitty road, and then I'm going to see you, and you're going to tell me I did good. That's what she was thinking.
Right.
She was like, after the light turns green, it's no big deal.
She made it to the first turnoff all but one time. The one time she had to go to the second one was her fastest mile-an-hour pass.
Yeah. And I always were, like, when I went down the track, my first couple times, I was nervous about the other guy next to me. Like, if I'm out ahead of them and I'm in the other lane and I got to come over to turn off.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Right.
I still don't exactly know the proper etiquette for it.
The proper etiquette is if you're in the far lane away from the turnoff, unless you are way far ahead.
That's what I assume.
The other guy, you let him go first.
Yeah. That's what I assume.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's be real here. I've never been way far ahead. I mean, I've won some drag races in my day, okay?
Right. Well,
I've never been 5 seconds ahead of somebody.
She was ahead of somebody. I seen one of those slips.
Yeah, she did win. She beat a Nova.
Really?
Yep.
You know what would have been even better than that? If she beat a G-body. Because then that might, calm her down on the G-body thing a little
bit. We want a G-body pretty bad for a all-out race car. What happened on that race was she treed that guy off the line, and then he spun on top of that.
Oh.
So she beat him by almost a second and a half.
Wow.
She whooped his ass.
Yeah, that's feeling pretty good.
Which, after her second pass, her first two passes, her reaction time were kind of crappy.
They were on par with us.
Yeah. But she ran 5 times. Her last 3 passes, she hole shotted the other person every time.
Yeah. And she was doing that. She was doing it not wrong.
No.
But the way she was doing it was requiring more time.
Right. And I'm almost inclined to just let her keep doing it because it's working. She was doing it one-footed, where her right foot was on the brake. She was going from the brake to the gas and not left foot on a brake, right foot over the gas pedal I do.
Right. That's how I do it. And we've talked before about how Saab will harass me if I don't get a good reaction time.
Yeah.
And I feel like if she tries it a couple times the way we do it. Not that our way is any better or worse, but if you think about it, it takes less time because you're not moving a whole foot.
Yeah.
I think that she probably will have the best reaction times out of the group.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that .001 that I cut is going to be hard to top,
but I mean, realistically, she had out of first 5 passes ever, she had 2 slips with a 0.1 reaction time.
Yeah.
Her best being a 1:17.
That's good.
I've had 1 pass in my racing career with a faster reaction time than that.
And you thought that you red lit. Or no, you thought you were breaking out, so you lost the race.
Yeah. So, she's got it. So, gosh, if she could make that 2-pedal thing work, man.
I feel like we have a bracket racing champion on our hands because we know that the Instigator is super consistent.
Yeah.
Whatever it does its first pass, it's probably going to do its last pass.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least with the setup right now, it's super consistent. So
I think that most of our cars are most of the LX platforms, and I only say LX platforms because I don't know about the LS ones.
Right.
But like the Chargers and stuff, the Chargers, the Challengers, the Magnums and all, 300s, those all seem to, when we were at the track, man, these guys were, for King of the Hill, they were dialing into like the 100th.
Right.
They were, when I dial in, I'll just do like
the nearest 10th.
Yeah. And they're like going out.
Yeah.
And they're like running on the dial.
Right.
So
our cars are kind of weird. Like, if you can get it fairly cold, like I think your first pass is going to be like your fastest pass of the day. Like once it's heat soaked, it's done. I mean,
when I ran
run when it's going to run.
Last year's fall Opie, the one off the trailer was actually a 10th and a half slower than after it had some heat in it. It probably wasn't heat soaked. I probably could have let the car warm up because it was cold that day.
Yeah.
It was just shit weather. Mm-hmm. I could have let it warm up a little bit and not get heat soaked, but at least get a little warmer.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably could have got a better pass with the first pass. But yeah, once our car's heat soaked, it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, you're pretty much you're gonna run what you're gonna run that day.
Yep.
But so yeah, that'll be interesting. See how she does going forward.
Right. Well, let's have our first caller on the show.
First caller. Let's give my wife a call.
And it kind of sucks because we got to call them. It's kind of like I feel like we should prank call her, kind of like the radio shows that call people and they're like, "Hey, I'm going to do it."
Hopefully
okay.
She answers.
I want to ask her if her refrigerator's running.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, you're on the air. Don't swear.
Is your refrigerator running?
What?
Is your refrigerator running?
Is my refrigerator running?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better go catch it. Hang up.
We're just talking about you and your super fast reaction times, and you're going to be like the next bracket racing champion.
What?
The next bracket racing champion.
Oh.
So, tell us and the listeners how you felt on your first pass.
Well, let's probably start from the beginning. You show up to the track.
Yeah.
And Dustin has to put all the tires on and everything while you're just kind of sitting there looking pretty.
Polishing your nails.
What's going through your mind?
I was nervous. Not knowing what to expect. And then once we got the car ready and everything, they called us to the lanes, and I was okay until they waved us to come do the burnout. And then I kind of panicked a little.
Well, because sometimes it can be hard to get that car to do a burnout with where the cam comes in at now.
Right.
And if there's not enough water. And to keep it going. Yeah. So I'm sure you had to be nervous. Well, what about when you got out on the little return road and you have to get on it to dust your tires off? Did you do that? Or did you drag all the dirt?
Dustin told me to get on it, and apparently I didn't get on it hard enough.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like, stab it! And she got on it, and we're like,
Oh.
like, well, okay.
That's more than some cards.
At least you tried.
Okay, so then you got in and you did the burnout, and the burnout happened. It was amazing and glorious burnout, and that was off your back. So you let off the line lock switch and you rolled forward, and then take us through the rest of the pass from there.
That's where I kind of got confused because I took my foot off the gas and tried hitting the line lock, turning the line lock off, and that's where I screwed up. Instead of turning the line lock off and then letting up on the gas. So the first pass, I learned the lesson.
Yeah.
Oh, so it just the car just didn't move.
It stopped spinning the tires and just
Did
stood
we
there.
put that on a button or is it a switch?
It's a switch.
It's a switch still?
Yeah.
I feel like we need to look at the button. That might help her.
Yeah. But so we got the line lock undone, and then I ran up to the beams and pulled you in.
Were you worried about rolling through the beams? Because I know somebody that rolled through the beams.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like all the way through the beams.
No, I wasn't worried about that. I just slowly inched up, and once I saw the cruise stage light come on, I just inched up a little bit more, and the stage light come on, and
so
I was like, here we go.
Here's the thing is a lot of us that drag race will try to either barely light the stage, like the second staging light, or a lot of them actually I found out the Pro Tree, which you weren't on, but just you can give us an idea, will try to barely just unlight it. So they go all the way through, so they go further, so they get a better reaction time.
Yeah.
And you having better reaction time than us, I figured I'd ask, did you just barely light it, or did you go into it, or what?
No, I just, basically what I did is once I was staged, and at the pier they had the 3 yellow lights and the green light, my first pass, I went on the green light, and that's why my reaction time was so bad.
Well, you had a lot of stuff going on there, though, your first pass.
I wasn't worried about reaction times for you.
Right. But after that, I was like, okay, I was using one foot. My foot was on the brake, and then I was moving my foot from the brake to the gas. So what I did was the first light went yellow, the second light went yellow, and as soon as that second light went out, I took off.
So you moved the foot, and
yeah.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to the track this coming weekend. I'm doing it with one fucking foot.
It's worth a shot, dude. Holy crap.
Well, it was funny because we were talking about it, and he was asking a question about how did you not recommend it? And I'm like, well, I tried to take your foot off the brake and onto the gas, and the car registers, and it was like, and then Dustin went, whoa, you weren't moving 2 feet?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
So after the car left, you probably felt it push you a little bit because it doesn't leave like that on the street. So it probably planted you a little bit. Was that startling a little bit? Or once the car got rolling, were you just like, this is cake?
No, to me it felt like a piece of cake. And my foot was on the pedal, and I swear I think my ass was out of the seat.
You were pushing the pedal through the floorboard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, you did really well. I know your first pass was like a 13.4 at 103 or something.
Which that wasn't bad considering what we know the car does.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll be completely open here. A few weeks ago at Hemi Insanity, I was only doing 13.3s.
Yeah.
So for her first pass, that was pretty good.
I think it's funny because she's Once I got rolling, it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I said she was not worried about the pass. She was worried about the staging, and we were worried about opposite things.
So when you got down the track and you crossed the finish line, were you super pumped? Were you like fist pumping in the car? Were you?
Oh yeah, I was giving everybody like thumbs up and
They're just like, whatever, lady. It's Lapeer on a Sunday.
right.
You were a celebrity.
I kind of wish that I had like a dash cam or something so I could have saw like my reaction because I know like when I was going down I was talking and
You were talking?
Exactly what I was saying, but
Oh, boy.
it was probably tough words.
Yeah, knowing you, I'm sure.
I kind of want to know what you said now. This part of the story is new to me.
Yeah.
So then you made the turn off. Did you get stopped in time for the first one, or did you have to go to the next?
I did. I got stopped in time for the first one, and I got off.
You got right back in line.
Right back in line. And Dustin told me to go to the truck. I went back in line, and so we were trying to panic so I didn't come back to the truck.
Well, the line looked, in some of the pictures and videos you guys sent, the line looked like it was long enough to where you could get a little bit of cool down time in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just stay in line, whatever.
So she came up the second time, and I thought staging the car went a little bit better the second time.
Well, she knew about the line lock.
Right. And
Yeah.
you went to take off, and I don't quite know what happened, but standing there, I could definitely tell your 60 foot was, and that car never 60 foot's great right now, but that was like even more shit than normal. It was
Really?
terrible. Yeah, the car just, bleh, like, it was bad.
Huh.
Yeah, I think it was like what was it, a 2-3?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
She says she planted her foot on the floor. I don't know if somehow you just quite didn't.
No,
I don't know what happened.
Must not have.
But, yeah, it just, bleh.
So, but staging the car went better.
Yeah.
So, the first run, we had trouble staging the car. At 60 foot, it all right, the first run.
Yeah.
And it went down the track.
Yeah.
And did pretty good.
Yeah, she made a drag racing pass, and that was my goal for the day, and she did it on the first pass.
So the second one, we had to iron out the putting your foot on the floor and keeping it there. You must not have lifted your butt out of the seat for that one, Saab.
Yeah.
Apparently, no, I didn't.
So the first two passes were done. Were you celebrating as much at the end of the second pass? Like, were you as pumped?
I want not as much as the first pass, but it was definitely still adrenaline rush. It was,
Yeah, she was hooked at that point.
Celebrating every single one of them.
So I'm guessing that all the passes and all of the practice and preparation came together on the third run, right? No problems either way, 60-foot staging.
And I think your best run was the fourth run, where you got the 1322, and that was like your best.
At 103.
Yeah, that was your best 60 foot too. Was that run?
I think that was 2.07.
Yeah.
Now, Sab, we know you're a speed demon. Was it different? Was it different going fast on the track versus going fast on the expressway?
It was. Just because I was going faster. I mean, yes, I do drive 80, 85 on the expressway.
Right. Well, it's your story. You tell how you want.
Exactly. It's my story. I'll tell it how I want.
So,
I don't know. I guess it was just feeling a different car. For one, it's not my daily driver.
right. You're in front of people.
It's just knowing that there's another car next to me racing.
Yeah.
It was, watching him and watching the road, and so.
I felt like the pass where we were racing the Nova, and you ended up beating the guy. Was I don't think it was our best pass statistically on on the slip, but like staging went really well. Your launch went really well. It was a thrill because you were pulling away. I mean, you treed the guy. You were pulling away from him in the 60-foot, and he was never catching you. So I thought that was your most exciting pass for sure. It was for me.
Yeah, I was screaming in the car.
That's it. Next time Saab takes a car down the track, there's a GoPro on the dash.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing that for sure.
Definitely needs to be.
So, by the end of the day, were you super used to it, and it was just kind of like did it become almost second nature for you yet?
Yeah.
It did?
Yeah.
So, where I'm going with this is, what if the car was faster? You'd start all over again, wouldn't you? You'd be more excited, and you'd have more adrenaline rush, and
Oh, yeah, definitely.
so nitrous would make it faster.
Right,
I don't know if you could smell that at home, but I could smell that coming here.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and another weird thing happened that totally caught me by surprise that some of the listeners that are friends with us might have noticed. Jeanette said that maybe you could coach her into taking the car down the track. Now, I can't get this girl to drive the car to the damn mall with me in it. And now,
She won't drive it?
no. She'll just say, no, you drive it. No, you drive. I can get her to drive it sometimes. I think she's a little bit nervous because when I'm over there, I am paying more attention than what a normal passenger would because it's a big car. It's long. Not that she's inept as a driver, but if you turn too sharp, those are CCW billet wheels. Like, we don't want any problems.
Huh.
And I think part of why she don't want to do it is her nerves because she don't want to be the one, to mess it up. But you're empowering women to do the bracket racing thing. So now I got to try to.
I think I was the only one in that yesterday.
Yeah, I think this is where I moved from driver to crew chief.
Well,
I don't think I'll ever get to race that car again.
Crew chief is an important job.
You know what? I mean, it was a whole different experience.
Yeah.
Like, just managing the car and, like, pulling her up to the line every time. And, like, it made me super proud because seeing her do well made me look good also.
Yeah.
Because just the way it's set up, it's like, obviously, I'm guiding her through this process and everything, and I must know what I'm doing because look at her doing what she's doing. So
you know what they say: those who can't teach.
Right? Yeah, yeah. It was kind of a free preview for when Dominic gets his junior dragster here in a few years and get to teach him to do that.
That's exciting. And I think, it'd be cool to. I'd shove Jeanette in the car and be like, have at it.
Yeah.
You can go up there and tell her. My car's a little bit more intimidating.
Well, yeah.
But I tell her, I'm like, it's only going to go as fast as you want it to go.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to always go super fast.
And that's kind of how I went into it, too. I was like, I thought for sure my first pass I was going to get like a 15, 56 or, something like that, like 86 miles an hour. I don't know. I just put my foot on the gas and got from A to B, and
I mean, even if
I'm more than happy to help Jeanette.
right, if you can get her to stage the car and do the 60 foot, and then come up the next pass and stage the car and do the 8th mile, and and that's how I was working with Sabrina, but she's
She just
her and she just took the whole thing. But
I think where Jeanette runs into the problem is if it gets away from her.
Yeah.
And that is like, if the car worked and it hooked and it went and did what it was supposed to do, it usually goes straight. Normally I'll go down the track with one hand on the wheel.
Right.
But she's a little nervous about that, and that's something that comes with experience.
Yeah.
Like, your guys' car hasn't really got out of shape yet. So
we've always had way too much tire for the power level.
Yeah.
So she's a little bit nervous about that, but I told her, I said, whatever. You know, you want me to go up there with you? Fine. If not, fine. I was thinking maybe even...
Yeah, I definitely needed Dustin up there with me.
Yeah. That would be a little bit unnerving and women think differently.
Yeah.
You're up there thinking about all the people watching you and everything, and
yeah. But
it's definitely comfort to have somebody up there probably. But I was thinking I'll even put her in the car when the track is done and let her just drive it down the track, like maybe after the last run goes.
Yeah.
But
however many baby steps it takes.
I think it'd be cool to get her into it. I know a couple other guys that are married or have girlfriends or might as well be married. They have their significant other take the car down the track. It'd be cool to do a little powder puff deal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're getting to be more and more in the Hemi world. I mean, look at that, Eric Storms and
Wendy.
Yeah, look at him and Wendy. You know, I don't see him race. It's always her.
Right. Well, he had a car. He sold it. Now he just takes care of that one.
Right.
So.
So does Jeanette speed at all?
Does she speed at all?
Like 74.
Oh.
Now, sometimes she does. It's actually, believe it or not, super easy to speed in her little Jeep.
Yeah.
Through our road trip, we were 80, 85.
Oh.
I don't think she minds speed. She had a Mustang, and her cousin had a Firebird. So I think that she doesn't mind it. I think she just is intimidated by my car.
Yeah. Well,
because she wants to drive the Trans Am.
Yeah.
That car would intimidate me a lot more than my car. But especially if I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
Because that's a pain in the ass to drive.
So you all excited to race again, obviously?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So when are we signing you up to Grudge Race? I got a feeling if we come across any more idiot guys in the staging lanes and their wives, you might get into a grudge race with them. We might have to throw down. So maybe next year you'll make a no ET pass with all of the people around your burnout.
Oh yeah, that would probably make me a little nervous.
Shit, that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a professional or anything, but I've been down the track a lot.
One of the passes that I did when I was doing the line lock, like I had my foot on the brake, I put it in reverse, did the line lock, pressed up on the gas, like the car started going a little bit. So then I panicked and braked, like what?
Oh.
I don't know what it is with that car, but for me, I have to. I don't know if every line lock kit is like this, or if it's.
Sometimes I have to pump mine.
Yeah, I have to step on it. You have to step on it hard for it to hold.
Yeah, and then a couple times, my car wasn't stopping as fast as I had hoped when I was rolling up to the beams. So even after I let off the line lock, I pumped my brakes a couple times.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I think it's just the way it works with the ABS, because it doesn't do that on the Chevelle or anything like that. I think the ABS and all that has a little bit to do with it.
So that's not too uncommon, actually. Well, since you're our first phone-in guest on the show, I would I have to give you the top 10.
And we're going to give you a T-shirt, Sab. We need your address. We need your address. We're going to send you a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even remember what the top 10 is.
I got it right here.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Okay.
Now,
Ready.
Sab, no explanations like our last guest. It's got to
No,
just...
you have to say one or the other. Okay. Would you rather listen to the stereo or the exhaust?
Exhaust.
Automatic or manual?
Automatic.
Rap or rock?
Rock.
Okay. Import or domestic?
Oh, boy, Sab. Don't go getting a divorce here. Did you say import?
She said domestic.
Oh.
Okay.
I know she
Yes.
did. I'm just teasing.
Yeah. Car or truck?
Fire.
Beavis or Butthead?
Viva.
Would you rather buy new or used?
New.
Okay. Would you rather look good or have a lot of power?
Have a lot of power.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
She's- She's waiting for it.
Yeah. Okay. Last one, most important. Street or track?
Street or track?
Street.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
Now she has stuff to go on
Yeah.
between the track and the street.
Yeah.
She's still street.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Saab is straight street.
I was surprised by none of those answers.
I'm not married to her, but I wasn't either.
Yeah. All right, babe. We're going to finish up here, and I'm going to head home.
Okay. And just for all of the listeners and everything, visit DetroitMuscleUSA.com. And if you use the promo code horsepower, you will get a free gift.
Whoa.
There. Our first plug.
Holy cow. A free gift if you visit, is it
DetroitMuscleUSA.com, promo code horsepower.
Horsepower? Get a free gift.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, babe. I'll see you when we get home.
Okay, sounds good.
Does he need to stop and get milk or bread or anything?
Yeah.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
You have to stop at Bill's Pharmacy.
Yeah. Bob's Pharmacy.
Bob's Pharmacy. We can't forget.
I tested your blood sugar 2 more times while she was on the phone.
Man, Bob's Pharmacy sells some really slick blood sugar testing stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Wow. That was
Yeah, our first phone-in guest.
she seemed super excited.
Yeah.
I mean, over the phone.
Yeah.
We're probably going to... I can tell that she wasn't showing up super loud on here because I can see the volume spikes. But it turned out good.
Yeah, we tested.
I think that we
tested before.
Right. I think that once we actually get this setup going to take callers, maybe we could do something even on the live feed and take a live caller.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So speaking of live feed, though, we only have like 2 more episodes left before we have to do that random topic thing.
Yeah. Which we need some more topics.
Yeah, we need more. I see we had just a couple on there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
I thought some of our listeners that are trolls would be all over that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're giving you an open ticket to make us talk about whatever crazy thing you want to put in there.
Well, we'll see what happens.
So
we'll put it in our post on the page.
Right. We'll bump that post up. This is the same post, so we'll keep it all in there.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that soon so you guys can do that. So what do we got left?
Okay. Just got done talking to my wife. We're gonna try to go to Mopar versus the World at Ubly on the 1st and 2nd Ubly Dragway.
I really want to go to that. Unfortunately, or I mean, it's a happy time. My cousin's getting married. It's a happy deal. I got to go to that.
Well, it's yeah. I mean, it's.
Is it as happy as being in a Mopar at a Mopar versus a World event? Yeah.
Yeah, it's family first. I'm on call for work, so I don't know for sure.
I say you go, and then if you get called, just Saab Saab's a professional. She put the car on the trailer and drive it home.
There you go.
She'll be able to get it done.
You gotta get busy testing for the Opie event.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about the amount of work I got to do to get ready for that. It's not a lot, and really what it boils down to is I'm just lazy. Anymore, I just want to come home and sit on my ass and be lazy. I don't want to come out here and get it in race condition as far as tires, and I haven't had it on race gas at all this year.
Well, we didn't need to because the only other event we went to, we were going for a index, and it didn't require a whole lot of work. The spring you were right there on the index, like just about.
I know. If I would have had a Saab reaction time.
Yeah.
If I would have had a Sabrina reaction time, I would have brought home a trophy, without a doubt. But at the spring Opie event, I didn't even put race gas through it because I wanted to try to get that meth right.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, if that meth works, that thing, I let off and went faster than I went for index racing in Milan. And I let off. Like my mile an hour was like a 108. I let off. It was moving. I need to get that dialed in. I feel like the next time I have the cartoon, I'm just not even going to mention that it has meth on it and just leave it on there and have them tune it like that. Because that is a game changer. It was at least 2 to 3 tenths off.
Wow.
That was a couple tenths faster than at Milan, and I let off.
Right.
I mean, that was still full interior and everything.
Yeah.
So I gotta change the fuel around and change the tune, change the tires, and then go through the chore of putting that bitch up on the trailer.
There's a lot of opportunity there, though.
Yeah. I'm really hoping to do well at the OP event because I didn't get to run at the No ET event, which I had planned on doing. Then I seen the weather, so then I was kind of happy that I didn't. But I really need to do well at the OP event.
Right.
I don't know if half of my races that happened throughout the year, as far as trash talking on the Facebook, are still going to happen or not.
Yeah, we'll see.
And
we all know how that goes.
Right. That's more than the one race everybody's thinking of, which I make it through a whole episode without saying. But he's not even going to like the fucking thing now. He's not going to like it. He's not going to share it because he didn't get his mention. But I don't even know if most of those races are going to happen because there's a whole bunch of G-Body guys from Flint, too, that I was supposed to race. And I don't even know
if
they're still around.
Speaking of, remember the guy I was supposed to race last year, Box?
Yeah.
I saw a picture of his front end up in the air.
Yeah.
I got nothing for that car.
He pulled the tire. Now, your car is fast, so it has 16 spark plugs. That's the logic of thinking there.
I thought I had something for him last year, but not anymore.
I think if your car was running the way it should, it would have something for him.
Yeah. We'll get all that figured out.
What just sucks is our cars are so flipping heavy, it takes all kinds of horsepower and torque to pull one tire up.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
He probably has busted out, worn out shocks on it anyway. So.
Yeah. I was surprised. I saw the photographer's photos and it's whoa.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Got something figured out.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the car. I know he used to be proud that it ran on
87.
Yeah, 87 instead of 93.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still doing that, but
I wouldn't think so.
So that's all coming up.
Yeah.
We'll probably have one more episode before the OP event. We'll probably cover my testing this weekend.
Yeah.
And then.
Yep, then we'll be going into that event. see, last couple things. We always go over the mean comments.
Oh,
We got our meanest.
it was
comment,
mean.
The meanest comment. Yeah, this stung.
It hurt. I even told her.
It stung me hard.
I told her after she said it, I was like, babe, that hurts. That cuts deep.
We got done recording the last episode. Jeanette comes out here and says,
into our studio.
And says, I was listening to episode 1 and I couldn't finish because it was boring.
And
she said her show was boring.
It hurt. I even said to her, I was like, babe, what do you mean? And she said, well, it just got boring compared to the first one. And to be honest with you, I can't even tell you what episode 1 was about. I can tell you what episode 0 was about.
Episode 1 was Heavy Insanity and Dream Cruise.
Right.
This is probably the most involved episode before this one.
Right. Might have been boring for her because all I did was talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we talked about the same thing on the show.
That's true. It was probably the 37th time she heard those stories.
Yeah, because, I mean, I couldn't even make a pass without having to tell her I was making a pass and then telling her what I did on the pass and then telling her that Sabrina might end up in jail at the end of the day because she's going to swing on this old lady.
Yeah.
So
that Jeanette, if you're listening, 3 months from now when you decide to listen to this.
You know what she's doing right now? She's listening to the last episode.
Oh, man.
Yep.
When you listen to this, that stung me hard. I feel like our friendship took a hit that day.
I don't know about that.
Teasing.
No, right. We have to say that we tease because sometimes she can take that because she's a nice girl.
Yeah. No, don't get overly sensitive or freak out.
But it did.
It did sting though.
It's like when you colored a picture in kindergarten and you brought it home and you knew exactly what it was, and it was the best drawing of a dog and a kid flying a kite ever. Yeah. And you bring it home and you show your mom and she's like, "Oh, what is it?"
Yeah.
That was the feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
it stung.
But that was the only mean one we had. Oh, we did have 2 guesses on what time Saab was gonna run.
Yeah.
And Adam was the closest. I think he had an inside.
Yeah, I think he was following our personal Facebook. And
I think that. Now, had she ran the time that James thought she would run, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I would fire you as driver.
Yeah.
If it did that.
Thankfully, she only beat me by a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is the part of the episode right at the end where we have to ask you for some help, listeners.
Yes.
We need some shares, some likes, some comments on our stuff.
We need attention.
Yeah. we need this to grow.
We're kind of stuck right now.
Yeah.
With we kind of plateaued with our likes on our Facebook page.
Yep.
It seems as though the listens are. I lost the SoundCloud deal. Because we aren't going to pay for 2 ways to put it up, and it seems like Podbean's the best.
Yep. Podbean is still going strong. The YouTube channel, Facebook page. We need all the likes and shares and comments, and even send us some hate mail at the Gmail account.
Yeah, we got it.
Rowdie at gmail.com. Send us hate mail if you want to.
Something.
Yeah.
Or a chain letter. Anything.
Yeah, chain letter, yeah. But we desperately need your help. We need this to spread. We need this to grow.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, most of the people that listen to it say they listen to it while they're at work or because it's a long episode.
Yeah.
And
tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your coworker. Yeah. Don't listen to it on the same device.
Right.
Have them listen to it on theirs.
Yeah.
And have them go like the Facebook page.
Yeah, I think
that's Saab telling you got to get bread.
Yeah, probably. But help us out.
Let's try we'll make a Facebook post to go with this.
Yep.
let's try to get what sounds like a reasonable goal to increase our likes by.
200 end of the week.
To be to 200.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like 40 or so more
Yeah.
likes. So let's try to get to 200 by the end of the week. You guys got a coupon code today.
Yep. We hooked you up.
I mean, we're working here. We're trying this because it's fun and everybody likes to do stuff that they have fun with. So help us out. Share the page. Let's get up to 200. That'll be the next hurdle. And I mean, we can't promise anything, but maybe we can try to work something out, like a J. Rowdie autograph koozie.
There you go.
Or something. Just make sure you're liking, sharing, comment. Do all three because that makes it go way wider.
Yeah.
More people will see it. So I think that's it.
Yeah. All right, folks. Let's talk to you later.